And let's spawn a rifleman. Oh, look at that. Now we have a rifleman with a custom loadout. Today I'm going to share with you a script that will enable you to recruit AI from a list that will spawn AI with a custom loadout you set through Arsenal. Recruit AI with a custom loadout. Before we begin, in the Arma 3 launcher, go to the Parameters tab and then choose All Parameters. At the top, go down to where it says Advanced and then scroll down till you see the No Logs parameter. Be sure to uncheck this box as it will create full logs, which we will need for what we are doing today. We're going to start off by placing a player, and we're just going to place a rifleman and make him face this direction. Then we're going to go to props, and in the search box we're going to type in notice. And a notice board will come up, and we're going to place the notice board and make it face this direction and set it up this way. Now you don't have to use a notice board, you could use any sign. You could just type in sign and you'll get a whole mess of signs that you could choose from, or there's other things you could use as well. Next we're going to go to markers. We're going to choose a start marker. We're going to place that right about here and face it this direction. Going to edit the marker, give it a color of blue, and we're going to give the marker a variable name of Mark1. Next we're going to save our mission, recruit underscore AI underscore with underscore custom underscore loadout, and that saves our mission. That will create a scenario folder for us to put a new script into. So let's go to the scenario tab at the top and then down to open scenario folder, and we're going to install a new script that I'm going to share with you guys today. Here we are in the mission folder, and I'm going to bring up another mission which has the script I'm going to share with you, paste it into the mission folder. So what I'm going to do is zip up this script and link it for download in the description of the video. When you get it, extract the zip and put the script into your mission folder just like I did here. Now let's open up the script and review it. So this script is called Recruit AI with Custom Loadout. This is a script that I put together. Let's start at the top. Now at the top here between this and this is all comments. Before we begin, I want to give Bubblebath91 credits for given me the idea to create this script, as he asked in the comments of the previous video about this type of function where you can recruit AI individually with custom loadouts. So here it is, Bubblebath. Alright, starting from the top, recruit AI with custom loadout scripts, and this was written by me. Choose from a list of soldiers to spawn through your action menu from a sign. What you're going to do is you're going to place a marker where you want a soldier to spawn and give it a variable name. Define that name in the add action code below where it says Mark1 and replace Mark1 with yours, which means your marker name. Put the following code into the sign's init or an object of your choice init. So this is an add action. It adds an action to whatever you add the code to. This is the hex number. When you go to the sign, you will see recruit soldiers and it will be in yellow. That's what this color is for, and you can change that. This here between the two greater and less than signs, or the triangles, can be changed. This is what you're going to see on the sign, recruit soldiers. You could name it recruit AI. You can reword it and have it say recruit operators or just recruit. It doesn't matter. You could just change this to what you want. Right here is the name of the script that we're currently looking at, which is and should be in your mission folder. And here is the name of the marker that we created in our mission that is named Mark1. Now, as set up here, you don't need to have your marker named Mark1. It could be whatever. As long as you put that name in the code, then the AI will spawn there. So this is the main code that you put into the sign. This is an alternative code that you could use, which does the same thing, except with this code you will see recruit soldiers before you actually get a list of soldiers. With this, you won't see this. You will just get a list of soldiers that you can recruit. Let's go to the code itself. Right here it says soldier list, soldier name, class name. In this list, this is an array that you're going to work with. This is where you're going to add your individual AI units that you want to recruit. Right here is the name of the AI soldier that is going to show up in the list. So this name could be whatever you want it to be. It could be a rifleman, it could be operator, whatever you want to name it. This is customizable. Right here in between these quotes is the actual class name of what you want this first guy to be. This is second entry to the list. So the list is actually in order as you see it. When you open the list in game, you will see this first and then you will see this second. We're going to go up to this code here. We're going to highlight it and press Control C, and then we're going to go back in the mission and add the code to the sign. All right, back in the mission, let's go to the sign, edit the sign, and in the INIT box, make sure you have a cursor blinking, and then press Control V, which will paste the code, and just hit OK. Next, let's just save that and let's test it out. Alright, so when you walk up to the sign, as you can see in yellow it says recruit soldier. If you scroll your action menu, it says recruit soldiers. And all you need to do to access the list is hit enter. So you hit enter, and what you'll see is the word rifleman, which is the first entry in the script. The second one is grenadier. We only have 2 entries to recruit AI with. Let's recruit a rifleman. So we recruited a rifleman. We'll get a hint at the top. It says spawned rifleman, joined the player's group, and then he'll be under your command. Let's spawn the grenadier. And at the top it says spawn, joined the player's group, grenadier. Alright, so now we have 2 units that we have recruited. Now if you wanted to recruit another rifleman, you could do that. If you wanted to recruit another grenadier, you could do that, etc. As many as you can command is basically the limit. So you may be wondering, how do we add new soldiers to the list that we can recruit? Now, to add more to this list, my suggestion is to copy the last listing, press Control C, and then put a comma after it, hit enter, press Control V, which will add the new line, give the new entry a name. So the next guy we're going to choose is an auto rifleman. So let's put auto rifleman. So we put auto rifleman. We need to acquire the class name for this auto rifleman. To add another unit to the list, all you do is place the unit that you want to recruit. So we're going to choose auto rifleman and just click on him so that he's highlighted. He shows lit up in the entities panel. Right click him and you're going to go down to where it says log and then log classes to clipboard. Click that. When the menu disappears, he's logged. Then delete your soldier and let's go back to the script. In between the quotes here, just hit backspace to clear it and press Control V, which will paste the new class name that you logged in the editor. So the difference here is B soldier GL, soldier ARF is the auto rifleman. That's all you need to do for a new entry. Just remember that if you're going to put another soldier after this guy, to put a comma and then leave the last line blank. So this last line is blank because we only have 3 entries. That's very crucial to understand. So once you have that, then just hit save. Let's go back into the mission and test it out. Alright, let's go up to the sign. It says recruit soldiers. Hit enter and you'll get your list. Now you see the list on the left. It has expanded to rifleman, grenadier, and now auto rifleman. So if we spawn a rifleman and we spawn a grenadier and now we spawn an auto rifleman. How do we recruit AI with Custom Loadout? I have a Readme I'm going to bring up And this README is called My Loadouts Array Instructions README. This is a README that I put together, and Rydygier helped me with some code for it. Now this README is important because it shows you how to step-by-step set up a database with AI that you want to recruit, have a loadout that applies to them. I'm going to put this README in the zip file with the script, and when you download it you could use this README as your reference, but you also have my video here. Let's start with the top of the README. The following is a step-by-step instructions on how to set up the array for custom loadouts for recruited or spawned AI. The purpose of My Loadouts Array is to function like a database by storing information on AI units through their class names, which determines what weapons and equipment they get when the array is applied to units when they spawn. Setting up the array instructions. Note, before you begin, before starting the game, be sure you have the no logs parameter unchecked in the Arma 3 launcher parameters, as this will enable full logs RPT to be written into, which is needed for the output of the array code. So we already did that at the beginning of the video. Alright, let's start with step 1. Step 1, place units. In the editor, place only those units you want to save custom loadouts for. Create their loadouts through Arsenal and save your mission. So we're going to delete the player, and we're going to place down 3 units based off of what we have in the script. We're going to place down a rifleman and face in this direction. We're going to place down a grenadier and have him face this direction. And we're going to place down an auto rifleman and have him face this direction. So once you have the AI that you have placed, then what you're going to do is you're going to edit each. You're going to click on them so that they're highlighted, right click them, and then go down to where it says edit loadout, and then you'll be taken to Arsenal. And I already have a loadout set up for these guys, so I have a loadout set up for a rifleman, and here we have new weapon with silencer, new helmet, night vision, uniform, backpack, and face mask. So this is my new rifleman, and let's do the grenadier. Right click him, edit loadout, grenadier. I have a loadout for him, and you can see that he has a weapon with grenadier capabilities. Loadout is applied. Now we go to the auto rifleman, right click him, edit his loadout, and for him I have a loadout set. We go to AI machine gunner loadout, and I have a loadout for this. So you can see what he's got here. Alright, so once you have your AI chosen and set that you want loadouts for, step 2. Debug Console. In Eden, open the Debug Console found under Tools, copy and paste the following code into the console's box, and execute the code by pressing the local EXEC button. You're going to highlight this code here, and you're going to copy it. Press Ctrl C, and we're going to go back into the editor and apply this code to the Debug Console. We have our 3 guys that we want, and they have loadouts that we want for them. So let's go to Tools at the top, and then down to where it says Debug Console, and you're going to get a window box that's going to come up that looks like a menu. And in the open box at the top where it says Execute, make sure the cursor is blinking, and then press Ctrl V. That will paste the code that was in the README. What you're going to do next is you're going to click on this button here. It says local EXEC or execute. Click on that. Nothing's going to happen. You'll see the cursor disappear. That's about it. And then just hit cancel. Next, just delete these guys. What you're going to do now is you're going to go to the scenario tab at the top, and then you're going to go down to open log folder. Now we applied the code and we executed it, and there is an output for it. Let's look at the README and see what it says next. After you're executing the code local exe in the Debug Console, you'll get something like this in your RPT. So here is a bunch of code, it's actually 2 entries for 2 soldiers combined into one, as where it says here, it says above is the output in the RPT with full logs of 2 units with custom loadouts. So let's bring up our RPT. So if you open your log folder, what you're going to get is the Arma 3 folder, and then inside the folder you're going to see a bunch of files. These are normal, all these are normal, and then you're going to get the RPT. The RPT will start with Arma 3 times 64, which is the 64-bit operating system. You're going to get today's date and then the time at when the RPT was logged. In your RPT, just double click and open the RPT. Will open with Notepad. You're going to scroll down to the bottom. So you can just go to the bottom of the RPT, and what you're going to see is a bunch of code, just like what we seen in the Readme. What you need to do is just separate the code that we want from the rest of the RPT. So just find the last line, look for a timestamp and then the code itself, and then just hit enter so you have a space, so you have a clear space. So you can see what the code looks like. Now this is for 3 units. Let's go back into the Readme and see what's next. Step 3, copy and paste. Copy the code from the RPT, then paste it into an SQF file. This can be a new script with a custom name or an init.sqf. We're going to start up a Notepad++ document. You could start up a Notepad document if you want. And what you're going to do is you're going to go one line down. Let's go back to the RPT. And what you're going to do is you're going to highlight this code here. Make sure you get all of it. Just the whole block of text, just like I have here. And either right click and copy, or just press Control C. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to your new document and you're going to paste it. So press Control V and that will paste. Once you've copied and pasted the code to the other document, then just close your RPT. Don't save it. You're not keeping it. And close the log folder. So now we have this code. What do we do next? Let's go back to the Readme. Let's go to step 4, code cleanup. Using either Notepad or Notepad++, clean up the code so that it will be ready to use inside an SQF script. You'll need to remove the following: timestamps, quotation marks at the end of each line, double quotes within the code. Let's start with the timestamps. Let's go back to our script. So timestamps. What it's referring to is the timestamps, which are these at the top. So what you need to do is just remove them. You see the one here? Before you delete this guy, put your cursor in before him and hit enter. Do the same for this one. Now you have 3 separate soldiers. So this is one soldier, this is the second soldier, and this is the third soldier. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove the timestamps at the top. Let's go back to the Readme. So we did the timestamps, quotation marks at the ends of each line. So the quotation marks at the beginning and quotation marks at the end. So what you need to do here is just remove that, go up here, remove that here, remove that, and remove that. What's next? We did the quotation marks and now the double quotes within the code. So how do we do the double quotes within the code? I mean, you look at the code, there's a whole mess of them. That's going to take a long time. How do we do this? If using Notepad++, press Control H, setting the search mode to normal, and then using the replace all to change the double quotes to single quotes. If you're using Notepad, go to edit and choose replace. So this is a Notepad document. So if you're in Notepad, just go to edit and choose replace. And it'll give you this. You can put a double quote here, double quote there, and then just hit replace all. So I'm in Notepad++. Let's go back to the script. So for Notepad++, all I have to do is hit Control H. That will bring up the replace dialog. And at the top here, it'll say find what, and we're going to put double quotes, so double quotes, and replace it with what? Single quotes, and just put one quote. Then the search mode set to normal, which is default, and then all we do now is just choose replace all here, and we'll just close that. That finishes that, and then here's your code with all the double quotes and everything removed. Yes, there are some quotes here and stuff for each one, but those are they're there for a reason. Don't mess with them. Your code is good. Let's go back to the README. What's next? So the code is cleaned up. Next, we go to step 5, the array. So in step 5, after the code is cleaned up, then paste the fixed code into an array in the SQF file like this. My loadouts array with a bracket and then a bracket at the end. Add the following code to the top of the array like seen above. So the top of the array has a code like this. So basically what we need to do is copy this. Press Control C and go back to our code. Let's give it some space and paste that. And then let's go back to the README. Add a bracket with a semicolon at the end of the entire code. Okay. So this is the entire, this whole thing is the entire array. What you need to do at the end here is place a bracket, right, square bracket, and then a semicolon. Let's go back to the README. Add a comma after the triple brackets with a comma after each unit and before the next unit. So back in the array, what that means is this is one unit, one AI unit. This is the rifleman, this is the grenadier, this is the machine gunner. So as you can see here, you can see the class names, and you can see the class name for the grenadier, and you can see the class name for the machine gunner or the auto rifleman. So what it's referring to in the README is you have to add a comma here and then go to the end of this one and add a comma here. Now if you don't add commas after each one of these guys, then you're going to get an error. Alright, so now that we have the commas added as seen here and here, let's go back to the README. Step 6. After completing my loadouts array above in step 5, then put the code into an init.sqf. After saving the init.sqf, then move the init.sqf into your mission folder. This array is complete. It's ready to go. All you need to do now is save it. So we're going to click on save here. That's going to bring up a save dialog box. Now before you save it, give the file name. We're going to name it init.sqf and then save as type. We're going to click on this box. We're going to go to all types. If you're in Notepad, it should say all files. And the reason you want to do that is so that you see all the files that come up in your window. You don't have to do it like that, but that's what I do so I can see where things are at. Search for your mission folder, this folder here, open it. And once you get the mission folder open, you should see the mission SQM. You should see the recruit script. What you're going to do is you're going to hit save. Be sure you don't click on any of the files in there, otherwise it'll change the file name, and just hit save. You're going to go to your mission folder, and inside your mission folder you should have the script for recruiting AI and a script that says init.sqf. Let's go back into the mission and test it out. Make sure that you have a player so that you can play the mission. I can just put this guy down. Let's save that and let's test it out. We go up to the sign, recruit soldiers, and of course we have the soldiers that we can recruit just like last time. And let's spawn a rifleman. Oh, look at that. Now we have a rifleman with a custom loadout. How about that? Do the grenadier. And a grenadier with a custom loadout. Nice. Let's do the auto rifleman. Ooh, nice. Alright, let's tell these guys to line up.
2, move back.
Copy. Standing by.
3, move back.
Solid copy. Waiting.
4, move back.
Solid copy. Standing by.
Watch west.
Alright, so we have the rifleman, exactly as I had it in the arsenal. We have our grenadier right here. And we have our machine gunner, auto rifleman. Now let's scroll down and I want to show you something. At line 43 here, I have a comment. This checks to see if the My Loadouts array script is present. If not, then the default soldiers will spawn. So this code here checks to see if My Loadouts array is present in the mission folder. So what that means is if you bring up the mission folder, if this, which is our my loadouts array, this array, if this is not present in the missions folder, this is not here, then when you recruit the AI, only the default AI will spawn. Alright, so it's kind of like a check. What you could do here is change the color of the recruit soldiers that shows up on the sign. Currently it is set to yellow. This is a hex number. What you could do is you can go to a website like this. This is the RGB color codes chart. What you need is the hex color. So you can go to the RGB color picker, choose a color, and you'll get a hex number here with the number. You can scroll down, you can choose a color from here, and you'll get the hex number, which is what you want. Or you can come down here and look through the presets, which there are quite a bit of them. And all you need here is the hex code number. So we're going to choose red. And all you need to do is grab this number here, press Control C, and we're going to go back into the script and basically apply it to the code here. Press Control V, which will update the code. Now, if you're using the alternative code, which is this, which only doesn't show you the recruit soldier, then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing. Grab the hex code and change the hex code right here. We're going to actually update the code on the sign in the mission itself instead of change this and re-add this code. Let's go back to the sign, edit the sign, and you're going to go to in between the apostrophes. I'm going to press Control V, which will update the code, and just hit OK, and that's it. We'll save it and let's test it out. Alright, so we go to the sign, and as you see it says recruit soldiers, and hit enter. You'll see that the menu itself is not changed. That color code just changes the entry on the sign itself. If you want the list only to have a different color, then all you do in the script itself is you just need to change this here for the list. Color of the font for the words on the sign. So this is for the list itself. You just change that to the new color. Alright guys, hope you liked that. I want to thank you guys for watching. And for more codes and scripts, take a look at this playlist.